Hi and welcome to this video. Now we are up to module 5 in the How to Start Your Own Magazine course. So in this course we will be talking about putting content together using InDesign and Canva, formatting and content from cover to cover in your magazine. So as usual, I am reading the course material on my computer because this course was written previously to be a written course rather than a video course. So all of the written material will be available on my Patreon, so I will leave the link to that down below, as well as a lot of different resources that are also on Patreon for those who sign up. So let's just jump right into the video. So by now you probably have a good idea of what niche you are going to go with for your publication. Though if you are still stuck, here are some descriptions of common niches that magazines tend to go with. So the first one is news reporting. If you are wanting to report on current affairs in your region or around the world, the number one tip I was given when working in a newsroom is to go to the source. Find out about your local news stories and go to the location. Take your phone or recording device and either ask questions or be part of the news team by recording the event. So you can actually just show up. Doesn't matter if other news teams are there or what is going on, you are legally allowed to just show up and start filming or recording and asking questions. Just say who you are and what publication you're with before you ask any questions. Find out about news releases and press releases. Is your local premier or governor speaking somewhere? Go to the location and report on it. And I have done this before and it was really a fun experience. You can also go to local events such as protests or business releases and do on-the-spot interviews. Take what you have reported, go home, write up a piece and release it in your magazine. Don't forget to add any pictures or video coverage that you get while you're there. You can add video coverage on your website, so that is an option as well. And as for recording devices, I will add links down below for some good ones that I personally use, and most of them are free. There's some different ones where you can quickly do a video edit on your phone as well. And also with news, the quicker the turnaround is, the better. So if you have a news story or some images, be very quick to get it up. The first person to get it up is usually the one that gets the biggest story or that will go viral. So another way to gather news is to sign up to the email list for your local premier and rewrite their press releases. So this is totally fine, it's not copyright as long as you use your own words. I did an internship at a newspaper and we used to do this all the time. They send these out in hopes that you do so. So just be careful not to plagiarize, but they do enjoy news places actually rewriting their articles and they want to get this information out to the public. You can also rewrite the stories that other news sources put out. Everyone does this. So this is really common in news reporting and in the news side of journalism. So the next is music reporting. When it comes to music reporting, you will essentially do the same thing as mentioned above. Turn up to local music gigs and write up a story. Interview the articles after the show. I'm sure they would love the exposure. In addition, you can also sign up to music release email lists to get the heads up on new album release dates. I have contacts for this in my contact list, which is in my Patreon. So I actually do have a contact list on Patreon where I have contacts of people in the media industry, personalities, PR companies, and the list goes on, people that I've worked with. Yeah, and once you get on their email list, they will just send you out press releases and things like that, and you can go through and pick what you want. And it's just really a free way and it's good exposure, you're helping each other out, so that's really awesome. I always get sent like media releases and invitations to go to gigs and report and interview the lineup of artists. So that is a really cool thing too. You should definitely sign up with a PR agency, and that goes for beauty as well and like fashion, anything really. They send you things to report on or to like review. So that's really awesome once you get your foot in the door there and make some contacts, which, like I've said, I have done the work for you, so you can just have at my contact list in Patreon and email those people and get on their lists. So that is a really good resource to have. You can also contact the music companies and ask for a press pass. You are not always guaranteed one, but if you get in fast, you have a good chance. So the next niche is beauty/fashion. The good news about beauty and fashion reporting is that there is an endless supply of content for you to report on, and hundreds of thousands of companies that are willing to send products to publications in exchange for review. I have lots of contacts in my contact list below. So in Patreon, to get you started, you can contact both PR companies and brands individually to access these perks. Here are 2 templates to get you started in contacting brands and agencies. So those templates are in this document, which will be in the Patreon document. And basically the templates are just like a letter to the place that you can customize and make your own professional letter that will get you a good foot in the door, and how to approach PR agencies. So always make sure to introduce yourself, what you can offer, and add any past content to give them an idea of what your work is like. Additionally, you should always add a media kit. I made mine on Infogram. It's easy and free. You can reference mine to get an idea of what to put in your media kit, and I put the link below in the document. So I think I've talked about media kits in my past videos, but I said that I would go more in depth in this video. So I'll put a screen recording on the screen now, but a media kit is basically like, it's just an information packet for brands, and it tells them who you are, what your goal is. It can tell them your ad prices and how many readers you have, your demographics, reader demographics, and everything like that. So it's just really, really essential and a great way to prove yourself to brands and companies, and even talent that you want in your magazine and on the cover. So next is food reporting. So food reporting can be a fun and delicious topic to write about, not to mention all the press passes you can get to food events in your area, which is so much fun. The trick is to always make your magazine work for you. For example, if you're visiting a town a few hours from your hometown and you see a food event advertised, contact them and see if you can get a press pass. If the event is free, even better. Go and enjoy some food, interview some people, some of the people that have business stands there, and write some great articles. Alternatively, you can contact restaurants and see if you can make a deal with them for a meal on the house in exchange for a review. Not all places will say yes, so don't get disheartened if you get rejected, but lots do say yes, so give it a go. This also goes for wine tours and other types of food events. So think outside the box. In your contact list attached, there are some PR agency contacts that work for food companies such as Kit Kat. So it's worth getting on their email lists. And I have worked with Kit Kat before, and they are so much fun. I got sent all of Kit Kat's new chocolate bars, and it was just lots of fun to try them out before they were in stores. So the next niche is business, and I have actually had some experience working, writing articles and things like that for press releases for a business magazine. So that was fun, and I have a picture here in the article of that. So there is always so much fun going on in the business world to report on, and a great opportunity for ads too. In my marketing days, I have a background in marketing for those of you who don't know, I actually created some ads for a business magazine that specializes in the window furnishing industry. The magazine publishes business related articles and is released once a year at the BMAA Expo, which is a window furnishing expo. They work all year producing the publication and collecting ads with all attending brands. I'm assuming they get the list of attendees from expo organizers and give out the magazine for free at the expo. So they basically, before the expo, get all the people attending, give them an opportunity to get an ad in the magazine, and then everyone gets a free copy and gets to read it, and they find out about the other brands that are there. And it's good marketing, and the magazine still gets paid because people pay for ads. And they give out the magazine free at the expo, a great way to collect more leads, and they are the only magazine that I know of that targets this audience and therefore have great success. So this doesn't mean that you won't have success if there are other magazines with the same sort of content as you, but if you hit a niche that people are after, like window furnishing in this case, then you are likely to have great success because there's no one else covering that market and people are interested in reading about it. So the next niche is bridal. So bridal magazines are some of my favorite to read and always have really bright and beautiful images. There is no end to what you can do with a bridal publication. For example, in the way of content, you could go along to weddings and do a feature/article with a full set of photos, and perhaps in exchange for the piece, the couple gets free photography. You could also report on wedding styles, dresses, do reviews of floral artists and makeup artists and things like that. You could also offer a contact list in the back of your magazine with contacts of wedding vendors, florists, hairstylists, makeup artists, wedding dress stores, venues, photographers, etc., and charge those places a fee for your continual mention of their companies. This is something pretty common that lots of magazines do. And it's just a good way to have a partnership with other brands and make another source of income. In the way of ads, approach places that deal with weddings such as all of the above. You have the same target audience, which is brides. Now I have an other niche spot for things that aren't in the niches that I mentioned. If you have another kind of niche and would like help with some ideas, please email me directly and we can work on this. Once I get a few different ones, I will post them here for everyone to see and benefit from. So moving on to current trends in magazines. Currently, a lot of magazine companies are actually either shutting down or going digital due to a reduction in the number of people buying print magazines. This is definitely something to take into consideration when buying your magazine. You will benefit from providing both digital and print. This is easy enough with MagCloud, who I always mention. They're the only people I will print through, considering you can upload the same file for both. And I just want to quickly say in this section before I move on is that when I worked in journalism, there were a lot of people wanting to work in the magazine industry, and they were actually cutting down heaps of jobs because in the magazine industry, often what will happen is that a big brand will manage a lot of different magazines, and then when they tend to cut out the magazines, brands like say a company owns New Idea, Woman's Weekly and Girlfriend. So say Girlfriend isn't making as much money, so all those people lose their jobs and they'll cut out the magazine, only leaving the other two. So this is something that is happening a lot right now in the magazine industry. So if you have your own independent magazine, which most of us will, you kind of have more of a chance, if that makes sense. You just have to work really hard, and of course there are still a lot of people that read print magazines and enjoy them, and you can still buy them in the stores, so there is still a market for them. But it would be smart to have a digital version of your magazine as well. I for one am obsessed with print magazines and books and always will be. There is just something so beautiful about print magazines and books that just don't translate into digital. Below are some trends that are current in magazines today. You will choose to follow this or not, but these are some of the things that will benefit you and your publication. Small bite-sized articles and content. Most people have a small attention span and can only stay focused for all of 8 seconds. So make your piece short, sharp, and interesting. This also goes for videos. So I've noticed on YouTube that a lot of people only watch say 3 minutes of a video, which is so weird to me because I always watch all of a video. I don't know if that's just me, but it seems pretty common for lots of people to just watch like 3 minutes or skip through a video. So that's interesting. 2, have a hook. Off the tip above, you should always have an engaging title that hooks readers instantly. For example, a title like Bushfire Sweeps the Wadigans, Stealing Resident Homes. It is engaging, short, and tells the readers that this is an important piece that they should keep reading. Alternatively, another title could be The Only Beauty Product You Will Ever Need to Buy Again. This shows the reader that there is a beauty secret in this article that they need to know. So a rule in journalism, which is mostly applied to news articles but can be spread across all genres, is to put the most important parts of the article in the first 3 sentences. So this is so that those with short attention spans can get all the information at the start of the article and can read on if they want to know more. Less important information. You have to set your mindset to most people are busy and don't have long attention spans. They are your audience. Always assume that all readers have that and you will keep readers' attentions. And then I have a link in this document of some trends in magazines currently. Now moving on to the last part, which is formatting. So I have some links here of my videos and I'll post them down below as well, with how to design a magazine in InDesign. In this video I talk about everything InDesign, how to find contacts and PR packages, and then in the second video I talk about making a magazine on Canva. So I like to have those 2 options because they're the most popular places that people tend to make magazines, and InDesign can be quite expensive and hard to use. So I started out using InDesign and I taught myself how to use it. It is amazing if you can spend the time to figure out how to use it. This tutorial doesn't show you how to use it, but it's more like talking about everything involved. And the second video is on Canva, and Canva is free and it's really easy to use, and they have heaps of templates on there that are free for you to use. And I made my last issue on Canva, and I wish I knew sooner that I could make such a great magazine in Canva. I got it printed on MagCloud, as I always did with my InDesign issues as well, and they come out the same, so definitely watch those videos. When it comes to formatting, the most important thing is to start with a template/layout. So here is a link to a variety of layouts that you can download and put straight into InDesign, depending on your magazine style and niche. So if you are going to use InDesign, definitely check out this document in Patreon for that link. So when I am creating each issue of KBS magazine, I will generally do the cover and first few pages last, based on the content that I put in the magazine. This is so that I know what to put on the front cover in the way of titles. As for the contents page, which includes credits, I will need to wait until I'm finished the magazine to know which content actually made it into the issue. And then I have a picture of one of the covers of one of my issues. Next, I will generally put in all the images that were submitted and approved so that I can space them either 2 pages apart or set out 2 pages side by side if there is a set of 2 images. If you wait until last, often you will find that there are no extra sets of 2 pages left side by side. In saying this, you can add extra pages at a time, so at any time. So next, I'll usually do reviews and ads for the same reason, to ensure that they are not too close together and that I don't run out of room in the amount of pages that I have set out. So I hope that made sense, but I do try and space out like different things to make sure I don't just have like 3 ads in a row or anything like that. And the same with articles. And then I have an image here of one of my pages, for example. After I have placed all the information, I will start to import all of the articles that have been banked up. Waiting to go into the issue, I will often pick some content from the website as well to add to the issue, but generally I have collected a lot of content months before I start putting the magazine together. When receiving article submissions and photos, I will put them into a folder in Google Drive, go through and pick the best ones to edit them. And there they will sit until I'm ready to put the next issue together. Lastly, I will go through and play around making everything look pretty and presentable until I'm happy with how it looks. After that is done, I will save it and turn it into a PDF. Send it to the contributors to see if there are any mistakes in their contributions or if they would like to add anything last minute. And most of the time, there are things to tweak. And when that is all finished, I start the uploading process to MagCloud. There are always issues with that too, in the way of sizing, etc. So I tweak all of that, and when it's done, I post about it everywhere. So in saying that, with the sizing issues, that's always with Adobe InDesign. So with Canva, there's never any sizing issues because the layouts that they give you are the exact specifications. So that's all I have for this video. I hope that you found it helpful. I was going through the learning material and there are actually 10 modules that I've written out for this course. So we're up to module 5. So there's 5 more lessons to come out and they are all pretty heavy. So is a lot more information to come out about all of that. So please do subscribe so you don't miss any, and feel free to follow me on Instagram. I do put updates on there all the time for everything that I'm working on. I'll also put my website down below, which has updates, and you can sign up to my magazine makers newsletter if you like. I have a page at the top, like a tab at the top of my website for that. And apart from that, please like this video and comment down below if you have any questions or to let me know your thoughts, and I will see you in my next video.